What's going on, everybody? It's Core here, and welcome back to another video. Need for Speed Heat is almost out. However, one of the disappointing things about the game so far is the car list, which is just full of filler and of duplicate cars. Many people are speculating that the way Ghost Games will remedy this problem is through the DLC, which is why I'm here to suggest a few cars that I think should appear in Need for Speed Heat's DLC. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 5. The C8 Chevy Corvette, the latest Corvette with the mid-engine layout, the first Corvette to do that, should be in Need for Speed Heat because the Corvette has always been an integral part of the Need for Speed series, and it's an amazing new car that has a lot of value for money, and it would be cool to see in Need for Speed Heat. Number 4, the Mark IV Golf R32. See what I did there? Mark IV at number 4? Yeah. Anyway, the last time we've seen the Mark IV Golf R32 in Need for Speed is never, because Need for Speed games never had it. The only one we did get was the Mark V R32, and I think the R32 Golf, the Mark IV, should be in Need for Speed Heat because of its kind of more interesting boxy design, in my opinion. And it's an R32 Golf. It has a 3.2 liter narrow angle V6, otherwise known as a VR6, with over 230 horsepower, and it has all-wheel drive and has one of the best sounding engines ever. Number 3, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, or the GTO. One of the most underrated cars produced by Mitsubishi Motors. It came around in a time when DSM was still a thing, and until 1993 or 1996 was sold in the US under the Dodge Stealth name. It is also powered by a 3-liter twin-turbo V6. It has all-wheel drive, it has all-wheel steering, and it's one of the coolest looking 90s sports cars ever, in my opinion. Oh, and not to mention, the last time we saw the 3000 GT in a Need for Speed game was Need for Speed Underground 2. Number 2, the Mazda RX8. Any generation will do just fine. The last hurrah of the rotary sports car, the Mazda RX8 was a major part in a lot of Need for Speed games, beginning with Need for Speed Underground 2, but the last time we saw it was in Need for Speed Edge doesn't count, by the way, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010, where the facelift model took center stage. The RX8 is possibly the last of its kind, a rotary sports car with a 2+2 layout, has over 220 horsepower, and is also one of the best sounding cars in its class. And not to mention, it's been a very long time since we've seen it in a Need for Speed game. Before we get on to number 1, let's take a look at some honorable mentions. The 2G Mitsubishi Eclipse, the E36 BMW M3, the Audi 90 Quattro, and the Ford Capri. And now, number 1, the R33 Nissan Skyline GTR. With the exception of the Japanese-only release of Need for Speed, the original Need for Speed that included only Skylines, known as Overdrive and Skyline Memorial, the R33 Skyline GTR has never appeared in a Need for Speed game in one of the mainline releases. Not even once. And honestly, it's my favorite generation of the Skyline GTR, and it absolutely, definitely has to appear in a Need for Speed game, and even if it's not Heat, in one of the future ones, definitely. Alright guys, that about wraps up my Need for Speed Heat DLC wishlist video. There might be a part 2, because there are a few other cars that I want to see, and that I want to mention. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. I will put links in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!